How are you? Welcome to another live edition of Making You a Bartending Pro. I'm Jason. Cheers. All right. Just gonna make sure these questions are coming through. I see it over here. -4 subscribers with one video. Or I think that's just supposed to be 4 subscribers, one video, yeah. Quick question, how long should I work as a barback before asking to become a bartender? Subscribers, one video. I think that you should be planting that seed as soon as possible. Meaning, you should bring that up in a job interview if it's possible to do that. So, you know, obviously you're already working, you're past that point, but anybody else, I think it's okay to let them know during the process of getting hired that, like, hey, my intentions are that I want to become a bartender at some point. And so, you know, that's okay to plant that seed. But after starting, I'd say within like a month or two, just like go to the owner, the manager, you know, the people that you're starting to figure out who can get things done for you or who the decision makers are at the place that you're at, and then let them know it's like, hey, super stoked, this is a lot of fun, love working here. Want to let you know that it is my intention to someday hopefully move into a bartending position. And you just leave it at that, and then plant the seed, and then continue to do a good job, kick ass, be a valuable asset to the company, and you'll get your shot. But yeah, sooner than later, I'd say, you know, you can throw that out in the bar, like I said, in the interview, and then within the first couple of months, if you're already working and you had not had the chance to do that. My man Shake, hello. Welcome to the live stream, everyone. Getting going. Sorry I was gone last week. I was on vacation over in London, England for the holidays. My father-in-law is British. English, also British, English, and he's been trying to get us and all the siblings and friends and family and everything over there for a while. So finally made it. Asia, what's up? How are you, girl? Good to see you. So yeah, I was gone last week, but now I'm here and I don't have any vacations or anything planned for a while, so we'll be on. What about you? How's your holidays? How's your Christmas? How was your New Year's? Did you guys see anything cool? Do anything cool? Anybody get any jobs? Anybody have any experiences trying to find a job? Remember the way this show goes, this live stream, there's no format. It's just open Q&A, ask questions, I answer. We can talk about bartending. It's usually the topic of choice, but we can talk about whatever you want. It doesn't have to be bartending. It could be underwater basket weaving. It could be how you work at a place that has a kegerator, so you don't have to bring beers to the live stream anymore. You just pour one and you're good to go. Woo-hoo! Cheers. Get a local IPA, local in Bend, which is where I'm at, Bend, Oregon. Boneyard, it's one of their IPAs. I don't know which one this is, but I do know that it is an IPA. It's delicious. 4 subscribers, 1 video. If the customers are obviously drunk, can I water down their drinks slightly? Okay, now I gotta be careful how I answer this, because depending on the state or country you're in, that may be illegal. However, it happens all the time. I used to do it all the time, and there's like, you know, water it down, like literally by watering it down, or the other thing you can do is to kind of back off and not give it as heavy of a pour. And that's kind of, I think, what the part is illegal. It's like you have to give, I don't know if you have to, but you probably, someone can make a case against you that you did not give them what they paid for. Now, what they paid for, ratio of booze to mix, you know, how do you prove that? Who knows? But I think that you can definitely water people's drinks down. I do it all the time. Usually just don't pour it as strong, and they get more mix or whatever the mix is that you're making the drink with. You can just add a little bit more of that. Or if it's a drink that would be kind of screwed up if you do that, you can just add water and literally water it down. So I think, yeah, it just depends on where you're at. Look into those laws. I don't know if it's a big deal. Even if there was laws that said you can't do that shit, then I don't know how anybody would ever know. Or, you know, obviously if they're to that point, then they're not going to remember a whole lot, and details would be sketchy should they try to do something about it. So yeah, cutting people off is a skill set. Or I guess there's just kind of my technique that I always did is to try to let people know on the drink before you're going to cut them off. So if you can tell, you can usually tell, right? If you're going to cut somebody off, you know, you can tell when people are leading up to it that they're getting close. So if you can tell, like, okay, I'm going to give this guy one more and then he's done. When you give them that one more, tell them that's their one more. It's like, all right, man, I'm going to give you this one, but we're going to have to slow your roll after this. So don't drink this one too fast. Take your time, because after this, it's just going to be water or something to that effect. I usually just say, hey, you know, we're going to have to kind of slow your roll. So after this one, I'm not going to be able to give you any for a little while. That's my exact verbiage that I used. And most people are like, oh, okay, cool. Right? Because they know ahead of time. They got a drink, they got a full drink. So they're stoked. They're like, all right. And they know, people know, you know, if you're getting fucking hammered, you know. Now, some people get angry and they don't like it, but if you do it like that, where you hand them a drink and then go, okay, next one, you know, this is your last one, then at least they have their last drink. People get mad when they think they're going to get another one and then you tell them no. But if you give them one and then tell them that they're basically cut off, then they're like, all right, cool. Well, at least I got my last one. And then it's much lower hassle to deal with people in that way. Shake's got a couple comments. I was WSA delivering some food to an older guy tonight, and he answered the door. He fell backwards. I thought the guy had a heart attack. Luckily, he unlocked the screen door before he fell. What the hell? Sounds crazy. I had to go inside and help him. He said it happened all the time. He has nerve damage. I made sure he was fine and offered him to call. But I don't know, man. That was freaky. Holy shit. That's sketchy. Man. Be careful. Help the poor guy out. He gets like narcolepsy. He just opens the door. It's like, hi. And falls back, falls asleep or something. It sounds like that's a dangerous situation. Glad you got out of there without anything too crazy happening, Shake. Deja had an event tomorrow. Oh, I have an event tomorrow. I had an event tomorrow. That's not possible. I have an event tomorrow. Host wants a specialty drink to be lemon drops. Any special powwow suggestions you have? Was thinking about using the peel around the straw trick. Exactly what I was going to say, Deja. Do that with some lemons. Just do a couple of, you know, make up a batch of those things that you can give to VIPs and any other people. Depending how much time you got, you can make as many of those as you can, or just really make a couple and make them a special kind of a thing. Let me see, what else? Specialty drink to be lemon drops. I would say also to like cut a bunch of really thin wheels, just lemon wheels, and just kind of float those on top. You know, like not putting it onto the rim of the glass, but like floating it on top. I always thought that's kind of a cool looking effect. But just know that that's going to kind of alter the taste of the drink. So if you do them like I do, where I actually squeeze lemon juice in there when I shake it, just don't go too heavy with the lemon juice. Maybe lighten it up just a little bit. But honestly, I love citrus, so I do both. But, you know, feel it out. You might not have to put as much lemon juice in the ones that you're shaking if you do that, because that little, but I'd say like cut a bunch of really thin wheels, that you can slide on to those drinks, which might be a whole lot of work. So if you don't want to do that, then hey, fuck it, whatever. Just the peel, the peel around a straw trick would be really cool. She says, Larry, you can make it out tonight. Glad you can make it out tonight. Absolutely. I'm running on short sleep, so I apologize if I yawn a couple times throughout the night as my body gets to this point in the evening. If I'm running on short sleep, I start to get yawn attacks. So I do apologize up front if I'm yawning sometimes. It's not you guys. It's not you. It's me. I'm totally sorry. You'll never want to hear that one, right? It's not you. It's me. Deja says, yep, glad he moved the time to 10 Eastern because I used to miss it because I was sleeping. Yes, doing these earlier. Now that I'm officially working in sort of another industry, I'm with you, Deja. My nights are a little bit earlier. My mornings are a little bit earlier. So that 8 to 7 to 8. So we were doing 8 to 9. That was more of a time frame for when I was still working in the bar directly and needed to do that. So that, yeah, this should help get hopefully be a little bit more time friendly, user friendly for people. Eric Hill, what's up, everybody? What up, Jay? What up, Eric? Good to see you, E. My man. Sierra Mancini in the house, everybody. What's up? Welcome to the stream. Absolutely. 4 subs, 1 vid. Says, speaking of customers getting pissed off, when do you switch from being polite to straight up kicking them out? So there's a good video about this. Maybe Shay can grab a link to dealing with shitty customers. That is a great question, Shay. I agree. Good question there. 4 subs, 1 vid. Let's see. I'm trying to approach this in a way without. It's one of those things that you kind of got to feel it out. Like basically, if someone's just completely belligerent to the point where they're becoming a hazard to themselves or anyone around them, you need to get them out of there. If anybody is affecting the experience of those around them. And now sometimes people are just really sensitive and they're like, hey, this guy's being an asshole. Can you tell him to shut up? Which sometimes that person just might be overly sensitive to the asshole next to them. But if it's like definitely being distracted to multiple people around them and it's affecting their experience, then that person needs to go. So danger to themselves or others, or if they're affecting the experience of others, I'd say are kind of the main criteria. And then obviously there's, the obvious ones, like if there's a fucking fight that breaks out, or if, they fall out of their chair, or they can't stand up, which hopefully you don't get them to that point. But even then though, I would say that you always want to try to be polite, or you can go into kind of cynical nice is my non-polite way. You always want to be, you don't ever want to be intentionally rude to people, even when they're just being really shitty. That's when you really try to that's where our professionalism needs to come through, like our professional demeanor needs to take over, and you just go like, man, I really want to just fucking punch this guy in the face and tell him what's up. You still just got to try to play cool and just, try to be nice, and it's like, okay, all right, sir, yes, have a good evening. I know I suck, I'm an asshole, but I'm sorry. Have a good night. We'll see you next time. Because if we can keep our cool, the more cool we can, the better we can control ourselves. Watch that video that, 4 subs, 1 vid. Watch that video that Shake just linked, the dealing with rude customers. But the more we can stay cool when they're freaking out, the more it makes them look like a lunatic and makes us look like we're, staying cool as a cucumber. So I don't think you ever want to just completely abandon being polite and just go, rage face on them or anything. Can happen. Sometimes we all lose our cool on occasion, which is, that's fine. We're human. It happens. But you just want to try to not do it as much as possible, no matter how bad the person on the other side of the bar is. Because other people around that are watching. It's not just you and the dipshit in front of you. There's other people around that will see how you handle the situation. So you got to remember that. You never know if you have somebody from the Washington Post next to you that'll write you up and throw you under the bus. You have no idea. So you always want to be aware that it's not just you and dipshit. So you always want to try to keep your cool, play it cool, and do the best you can. Pardon me, I have a frog in my throat. I'm sorry, I'm getting over a cold from this weekend. Beer doesn't help, but hey, this is what we do on the live stream. We have beers together because we're friends. Sabrina Rice, thoughts on mobile bartending? I work for myself as a lifestyle photographer. That's cool. I could use your help in my new job. And have always wanted to dig into bartending. I've spent a great deal of time in the last few years traveling to different local counties, countries, I'm assuming. I think you put is what you meant. Or counties. That's cool too. And feel being mobile would be a better fit than being in one place. I'm curious about legal requirements and such, I guess. So that link, Sabrina, that Shake just put up, the How to Become a Bartender in 48 Hours, talks all about mobile bartending stuff. But to answer your questions, mobile bartending and, maybe Deja could chime in on this a little bit too. I think Deja does mobile stuff. I forget if you have your own thing, Deja, or if you work for a catering company. So, mobile bartending is awesome for the flexibility that it sounds like you would need in your situation being a photographer. Now, the caveat is if it's your business, then it's on you to get more new business. So that means that you have to do general, just running a business type stuff. Like you gotta do research about your area that you want to work in or areas that you want to work in. You need to do research about your competitors, figure out what you need to do to get in front of people to get new business, which generally my kind of advice has always been you just need kind of that first one or the first couple, and then there's a couple of cool tricks that I show you in that video that Shake just linked to that can help you kind of get more customers. And that's actually what Deja was talking about with the peel around a straw trick. That's all stuff that's designed to get you more gigs, because once we have those first couple gigs, then everybody that's at that party is a potential customer for a future gig. So you always want to keep that in mind. On top of doing a good job of the gig that you're at, you always want to keep your ears perked up for opportunities for other gigs. And the best place to find people for other gigs are at current gigs. So watch that video, go into a lot more detail. I think it's a really good fit for some people. Some people don't like it at all. Some people prefer the kind of consistency, obviously, and routine of working in a traditional bar. You can make the case either way that you can make more money doing one or the other. I know people that have scaled private party businesses to be huge, or just a couple people on top of them, and you kind of just take cuts on what they do and cherry pick the good parties. So it just depends on what you're trying to get out of it. And it's good experience that you can put on your resume as a bartender. So the first day you officially list yourself as a bartender and start doing parties, that is the start of your bartending experience, if you don't have any before that. That was kind of the other thing that I put together that those videos and that advice for, is that it's a way for people to get experience that don't have experience. Because the experience thing is such a huge mental hurdle for people to get over that don't have it. And sometimes it's a mental hurdle for the people that you could be potentially getting jobs from, because they're like, well, you don't have any experience, so I'm not going to hire you. So it's a way to kind of get around, or not get around, but to address those issues. Okay, so that was a little bit long-winded to answer, but that's all good. Eric Hill. So I've never worked as a bartender before, but I'm really interested. I'm a chef, so I look at it as a way to expand my craft. Absolutely. And as a chef, you're going to have phenomenal knowledge about flavors and ingredient and food pairings that would be really probably well suited to the craft scene. So like the whole, craft bartending scene that's massive. So as a chef, I would advise you to kind of slant that way for sure. And definitely just, being experienced in the service industry behind a line, you'll know what's going on with a lot of the stuff. It's much more in your face with a customer versus in the kitchen. You're in the face of the servers and expos and whoever you're working with in there. So I think it's a great feather in your cap as a well-rounded service industry professional, Mr. Hill. So I would say go for it. Okay. Remember, if you guys ask a question, I will get to it, so hang tight. Sometimes these questions, my answers will go long if it's, there's a lot to it, or I feel like it needs to be explained thoroughly. So let's see here, where are we at? Eric Hill, what's your thoughts on applying? Did I make sure I don't want to miss anything? A. Romero, okay, so I got a couple up here. I'll get to you, E, hang tight. A. Romero, bartender rejected ID due to ID peeling. Customer got mad, tossed the Febreze, is that right? They're like a Febreze bottle? Or do they just have it like in their pocket or purse or something? Tossed a Febreze bottle at the bartender. That was the drama this week at the bar I worked at. That's definitely a first. I've never heard of anyone having a Febreze bottle nunchucked at their head. So that's awesome. And good on you if it was you or whoever your other bartender was for not accepting a peeling ID. Right, you're kind of splitting hairs there a little bit on that one, but that's definitely like a telltale sign of a possible fake ID, especially if the person's like young and you're kind of questioning whether or not it's legit. Then definitely always err on the side of like, sorry man, you got something else, give me another ID, I'll help you out, but otherwise with this one I gotta say no. And that's the sometimes hard part about the job is you gotta deny people. Sometimes we gotta be the bad guy. That's just the way it is. That's just part of the deal. You just try to be as gentle and nice about it as you can. But that's awesome. I've never heard of that, A. Romero, so thanks for that first time story. All right, so E, back to Mr. Eric Hill. What's your thoughts on applying to places like Red Lobster, Olive Garden, Dave & Buster, places like that? Shay could probably chime in on that. Yeah, there you go. He's on it. My man. So Shake says got a job Red Lobster. It's fine, but I didn't want to do food. I just wanted to deal with drinks. Had to tend to mobile, bar orders, and takeout. Yeah, there is multi-layered responsibilities when you work in a restaurant for sure. Let's see what else. Pardon the typo. Yeah, no worries, Eric. Deja, yes, I've had my own mobile bartending business. Sabrina, yes, it's different because you have to do everything. I live in Atlanta, so there are always events around. I would recommend trying it. And that's a good point for Sabrina. Miss Rice. Race? Oh, Sabrina Rice. I thought it said Sabrina Rice. My apologies. I think I said Sabrina Rice. So Race, that it depends on the market that you're in, right? So if you're kind of live in super rural backwoods type areas, there may not be a lot of private or non-private bartending opportunities, right? So the market that you live in is going to make a huge difference in that type of thing. But if you live in a fairly urban or metropolis, it's a weird word to use, but you know, if you live in the city, you're gonna have a lot more opportunities. If you live in the country, you're gonna have a lot less opportunities. But I know some people love it, like Deja. She's all about it. Right? Yeah, exactly. You get to be your own boss. You make your own time, but it's on you to cultivate your next paycheck. So for some people, they can't handle that and they freak out. It takes, because you're essentially an entrepreneur. So some people are just not cut out for entrepreneurship. But if you're already a freelance photographer, it sounds like you're already there. You're kind of doing the same thing, but with photos. Let's see. E had a second part of your question. Oh, all garden day busters type places, or should I just get in wherever I can, no matter the spot? If you think you're good with that, then go for it. I made money there. Oh, yeah. That was Shake's answer. So I always tell people, Eric, that take the first job that comes along, stand on that, get experience, put it on your resume as being a bartender, and then continue to climb or apply at places that you might want to work more. So you're going to have different experiences at different places, and you may find out that you do or don't like certain types of establishments. So yeah, I always say kind of take the first thing that comes along. There's nothing that says you have to stay there. So if you get hired at a place and then 2 weeks later the place that you really want to work at calls you to offer you a job, then take it. Or if you get that first job and it's not really where you want to be, just take it, because now you're working and you're getting experience, and then continue to apply out there and, you know, continue to drop resumes and follow up at the places that you really want to work at. So Deja says, yes, doesn't require most. The host provides the alcohol. You just show up and be great. Yeah. So Deja does like what I always recommend people do, and that's just be the bartender. Don't provide the booze. Don't bring the booze, because then you put yourself into like this category of you need insurance and you might have to be bonded depending on where you live, and you assume responsibility. So you don't want to mess with that. If you just show up and just pour the booze and you're just the hired hand that's making stuff, then it is still on the person at the party that provides the alcohol for if any bad shit happened, which that's what we're kind of trying to avoid. And, you know, we're responsible bartenders because we're all families bartending pro. We're all bartending pros, and we don't overserve someone to the point that it's going to get them in a lot of trouble. Hopefully. Sometimes it might happen. Okay, let me make sure. Let me scroll back up before I keep going that I didn't miss anybody's questions. Penny Boone! Awesome to see everyone. Sorry, I missed the shout out there for Penny Boone. Okay, scrolling back down. Eric, what you do? And then we have Shake. Remind everyone, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Hit that bell when you do subscribe so that you get notified when we post a new video or start any of these live streams. Follow Bartending Pro, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, obviously. 4 subs, 1 vid. Let's say there are 2 customers or guests who come in at the same time. One of them is happy and outgoing while the other is quiet and reserved. Who should I serve to get the highest tip or networking? You should serve them both. You should give them both equal, awesome service and attention. The place that I currently work at is in a different industry, but there's still a lot of customer service element to it, especially on the front line of it's a direct customer interaction establishment. And one of the things that we pride ourselves on is having consistent customer service. It doesn't matter if like the homeless guy off the street comes in to buy something, or the CEO executive. They all get the same service. You all get this. They all get the same genuine personality, hopefully, from our uh, our salespeople, and that is something that we get reviews and feedback from all the time as being awesome. So the answer is that they're both important, and they're both deserving equally of your awesome service and time to chat and network with. Now, to be fair, the kind of quiet introvert person, you might, they might have their face in their phone the whole time, and you can just tell that they don't really want to be chatted up. Still come by every once in a while. It's like, hey, just want to make sure you're doing all right. You all good? Okay, cool. Just give them a little touch every once in a while. And the outgoing person is just going to be much more talkative and outgoing and want to talk to you more. So you're just by nature going to probably spend more time with that person. It doesn't mean that you neglect the quiet person. It just means that you might spend more time with the other person because they're just naturally outgoing and the other person's not. But your effort and attention and intention to serve should be equal for anybody that walks into your bar, for sure. So none of your customers should be less important or more important, is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Josh Langley, hello, sir. Long time no see. Yvonne, hi from NOLA. Right on. Nolans, I'm assuming, right? Did I get that right? NOLA? New Orleans, Louisiana. Josh Langley says, would you happen to have a root beer syrup recipe or know a decent one on the market? I do not, Josh. My craft skills are minimal. Very much so. Beyond, well, in terms of like making ingredients. I know how to make craft stuff, but I never really made our own syrups from scratch, and that was never at any of the places I worked at. We use craft ingredients, but they were, usually fresh fruits, herbs, and stuff like that. But David L, just stopping in to say what's up. How are you, David? Good to see you, sir. So yes, sorry, Josh. To that point, I do not, but I will take a picture of that because that is a good kind of vein to shoot some videos for. This crafty stuff, like how to make your own tinctures and extracts and stuff, to infused syrups and whatnot. So I would say if you just Google how to make root beer syrup or like the root beer tincture and see what comes up. Rick Hill, thanks for the advice. You're welcome, sir. So the Americano, can you explain exactly what those ingredients are? Never hear of sweet vermouth and that other thing. What is soda water? Seltzer. Yes. So, are you out of the country, Eric? And are you talking about you're not talking about Cafe Americano, right? I'm assuming, because that's not like a super common one. It's an older classic cocktail. Sweet vermouth, Campari, soda, orange lemon garnish. That's one recipe that I'm finding. Let's see what else we got here. These guys are saying Campari, vermouth, sweet club soda. Okay, so same thing. So it's just Campari, sweet vermouth, and soda. Seltzer, depending where you're at, seltzer is soda. So soda water is just carbonated water. There's no sweetness or tonic or anything in it. No quinine. It's not tonic. It's just carbonated water. It's basically like a cola without the syrup in it, right? Then let's see these fucking guys in there. Damn. So Campari. So sweet vermouth is technically like a wine. It's like a red wine that they use. Campari is, what would you call that? An aperitif, right? It's a herb spiced. It's almost like a bitters, but made into a liquor, like into a full bottle, so it's not quite as intense in the flavor. So it's a flavoring ingredient. So with Campari and the sweet vermouth, that's one of those ones. I don't know if I'd be a fan of that one because it's kind of equal parts. That one's probably pretty bitter, club soda. But if you like that kind of astringent, bitter flavored cocktail, then that's might be one that'd be cool. But if you're not working somewhere where you're making that, or you're not planning on trying it yourself, then don't worry about it. Right? There's no point in learning and memorizing kind of off the wall drinks. Depends on where you work. Like, I never made an Americano where I worked, but you could work at a kind of a snazzy martini bar where they might make those all the time, right? Even though I know it's like a highball drink that's made kind of in a tall glass usually. It's peaches and honey. There you go, Yvonne. Let's see here. Let's get back up, make sure I didn't miss any questions here. Never heard of sweet vermouth and the other thing, soda water seltzer. Where do you live, E? I found out Southern Comfort was made for ladies who work in brothels. Who work in brothels. That's a funny typo. I didn't know that. I've never done history on the backstory of Southern Comfort. Is that right? I'd buy that for $1. It is sweet for sure. Southern Comfort was made for ladies who work in brothels. Sure, I'll take that story. We'll go with that, right? That's what I'm gonna start telling people if they ask me. Hala from Greece. Vasilis Semenov, right? I said that right? I always get nervous when there's people that come onto the show from outside of America because I'm just a stupid Yankee who likes to fuck up people's names when I try to pronounce them. So I apologize, Vasilis, if I got that wrong. Soda water is Southern for seltzer. Which is New York for soda water. And West Coast. We call it soda water out here. Figures, because that shit is strong. Yeah, it's a straight up booze only, basically. There's soda water in there. But it's still going to taste strong because those are unique flavors going into that for sure. 4 subs, one vid. Thanks for answering all the questions. I'm sure to annoy the crap out of you in your next live stream. No, it's good. Those are great questions. You guys are asking really good questions tonight. And it's good because these obviously get reposted and replayed. So these are very valuable to people that watch these after the fact. So thank you guys. And your questions are never annoying. There's no such thing as an annoying question. Remember, those of you that are hanging out, I will get to your questions. So chill, hang tight. Grab a beer. Cheers. And heads up for those of you who are hanging out watching, if you have a question, we're going to do last call in about 5 minutes. We'll wrap this show up in about 12 minutes at the 8 o'clock, at least on the West Coast time here, witching hour. Absurdity at its finest. What's up, broski? Been bartending for 8 months. I'm the guy who lied big time on my resume to get behind the bar. Just hired into a new bar that stays 5 deep every weekend, making money. Going on vacation before I start. My man, pulling it. Love your stuff. Thank you. Love you for supporting and watching Absurdity. So, I'm not telling anybody to lie. I'm not saying to do anything that's unethical or makes you uncomfortable. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to survive. You know what I mean? And as Absurdity at its finest just showed, if you're a little bit savvy and a little bit educated because you come watch this show and watch some of my videos that I've made, and you can get in there and pull it off at a bar, get a little bit of experience, and then you get hired at a place that stays 5 deep every weekend and you start making bank. I know so many people that the way they got hired is they lied on their resume. Now you got to be careful, right? If you put some way too much experience on there and you get yourself into a situation that you will immediately be outed as a fake, then it could very, very likely cost you your job. Now, however, if you put a little fudge, a little bit on your resume about your experience and you get into a place that's just kind of a, nothing too crazy, then it's not anything you can't handle. Bartending is very simple. Much less about the drinks and how many recipes you know, much more about customer experience, customer service, customer interaction. I always say if somebody's going to spend time to go take a class, you'd be much better off going to take a public speaking class than you would to be taking a bartending class. I don't know. You could kind of split hairs on that, but because the uncomfortableness that you feel this is my personal theory. I think that the uncomfortableness that people feel when they start bartending is more akin to the fear of public speaking, because you feel like you're kind of on the spot and that people are staring at you and you need to go say something, than it is because of lack of knowledge. Like the bartending that you do at 95% of the bars is going to be very basic, very simple, not too extravagant, especially starting out. So don't get caught up in about how many drink recipes you have memorized. It's not about that. It's about customer service. Because even if you don't know a whole lot of drink recipes, if you're really good with people, you're going to kill it. But if you're terrible with people, but you know 5 million recipes, you're still not going to be a good bartender, because you're still not going to be able to do the main key act or the main key element of your job, which is interacting with customers. So you got to work on that more than anything, in my opinion. Okay, cool. Now I'm rambling on and I'm getting way behind on questions. Deja, I heard I can't talk right now. I heard Jack Daniels is more of a southern thing. What do you think? You guys on the West Coast use Beam instead? Just curious? Nah. The places where I work, Jack Daniels was more popular. I think there's a lot of like Jack Pride in the South, maybe. I don't know, but Jack's all over the damn place. They're huge. I don't really think it matters where you're at. Fat dabs and heavy drinks, bro. You. I like it. My man, Absurdity. We can hang out anytime, buddy. Eric Hill in New York. I saw it online. Dating research. What? Wait. What? Good looks, Yvonne. What are you talking about? I don't know what you guys are talking about. Thanks for the prize. I don't know. I missed it. But I like it. I saw in New York. Saw online dating research. Oh, thank you, Yvonne. Watched your liquor liqueur video 2 days ago. Well, I have the answer. Sweet. I made so many of these, sometimes I forget my own information. Eric Hill, okay, cool. Gotcha. I hear the word bitters a lot from West Indian people. You have a very Western name, Eric, but are you from out of the States area? Just from your questions, I'm curious. Doesn't matter. By the way, it's all good. Deja, depending on the bar here in Colorado, this is from Shake. Jack is top shelf and Jim is typically well. Jack, I would argue, is not top shelf, but from a demand perspective, absolutely could be placed up there and people would go for it all day long. Now, they have some good stuff, but just the regular Jack. I'm talking about just the regular Jack, not their like double barrel or single barrel or gentleman or anything like that. Absurdity at its finest, because chicks and brothels bring comfort to the southern region in your body. I like that. Nice. Shake, honestly, Jack and Jim are interchangeable for me. Yeah, and if you if you're a connoisseur, you can call it, but if you put Jack and Jim in a, whiskey Coke next to each other, whew, I'd put money that most people would not be able to tell which one's which. Eric Hill, they say it's good for stamina, if you know what I mean. Hey, I like it. You guys are on some good zingers tonight. I like it. 5-minute last call, everybody. Get your questions in now. Remember to follow Bartending Pro, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Turn on your notifications when you subscribe so that you get notified anytime new videos or new live streams go up. Yvonne, drink soda water so much I have a machine, but added the 20 CO2 tank. There's a long article on this fizzy water. Has sodium, but most places treat as interchangeable. Okay. I'm gonna call a little bit of semantics on that, but yeah, it's true. Savvy Sinatra. Thanks for all your info and videos. I finally made bar back about 4 years of dishwashing and a bus person. Much appreciated. My man. Or a girl. Sorry. Savvy Sinatra. I can't tell if that's boy or girl. Good on you for sticking through it. And even though that was a long process, that experience being a busboy and a dishwasher is going to pay dividends because you're going to understand the positions. You're going to understand more spots within the establishment, and that just makes you more valuable down the road. You might not see it now, but someday that will just make you, and it makes you more valuable now, but you'll see how that will come into play down the road, and just makes you understand when you have other people that come into those positions down the road, how you can help them out, and it just makes you well-rounded. I was a busboy. Like, I was a busser. That's basically when I started. I was like busboy with one bartending shift. Is basically what it is. So I was more busboy than bartender for sure. Yvonne spent videos incredible. Spent 2 hours watching basics and recipes. Only done a few nights here and there. A draft and 2 ingredient drinks way back. Not a whole lot more than that though. Worked a rich home party. Thought I was a pro. You're welcome. Not a lot to it. Not a lot to it. It's easy stuff. Eric Hill says, I'm living in New York, so it should be easy to find a bartending barback gig out here, right? It depends on where you're at, right? New York's a big state. If you're in rural, I'm having a hard time saying that. If you're in rural New York or rural anywhere, there's not going to be as much opportunity as if you are in, NYC proper. Then yeah, there's a bar literally on every corner. But there's also a lot of competition in New York City. New York City is probably one of the most competitive and lucrative bartending markets in the world. So it's Yvonne with the big tip. Thank you, girl. I love you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That is so generous and not necessary. So I appreciate the support. That is very awesome. Thank you very much. But yeah, living in New York, yeah. One of the things is if you are going to go into the big city bartending scene, like in New York City, now there's a whole range of bars in New York City. There's your dive bars, there's your sports bars, there's your fucking thumping clubs, there's your restaurant bars, everything in between. So I would say to get yourself into a position that you can stand on and then accumulate your knowledge for the places that you want to go. Now, where you're at, you might not need a whole lot of crazy stuff at that first spot or whatever you're looking for. But if you want to take it to the next level in New York City, that is a market where if you want to get the best jobs, the best clubs, and the best, where that's a market where you make, 6 figures, 150, 200,000 a year as a bartender. But those jobs at those spots where you can make that kind of money are competitive. So you got to be on point about your profession. You got to take it seriously. You got to study. You got to do your homework. And that doesn't mean learning 5 million drinks. That just means learning the market. What are the types of customers and the types of places that are going into? What's popular? What are trends in the industry? What are trends in cocktail creation? That's the type of stuff. If you want to be next level in a market like New York, you got to have the drive to get to that level. Oh man, you guys are spoiling me tonight. Savvy Sinatra, thank you very much. I appreciate that. You guys are awesome. Really do this for y'all. So I'm not out here to do it just for dollars. Not doing it for dollars, doing it for this is my magnum opus that I can give back to you guys from doing this for so long, and I'm glad that you get value out of it in any way, shape, or form. So thank you for your support. Totally right. Videos gave me the Yvonne says your videos gave me the tools to feel confident about what the fuck I was doing, which was way simpler than I predicted. Made over $475 at that party. Nice. Asked me back for future. I'm assuming at that party. That's rad. Good on you, Yvonne. Way to go, girl. That's awesome. I love that. See, that's why I do this, is hearing those types of stories that's helping you guys get out there and kick some ass. And I'm sorry I almost don't even want to say it because I feel like it's tropey because I've said it so many times at this point. I'm sorry I haven't had new original content beyond these live streams coming out. I'm still literally living out of boxes. I got a permanent place here, but I'm still living out of boxes. I still don't have my bar set up, so I'm still not really able to shoot cool whiz-bang videos yet, but they will come, I promise. They are coming. More stuff coming down the pipe. I wish I had some alcohol right now. Noelle! Sneaking in the back door. I didn't even see you, girl. Were you in here earlier? No? Noelle's in the house. Noelle Smith, everyone. Wish I had some alcohol right now. My migraine is hitting hard. Actually, if you have migraines, Noelle, because I deal with migraines, do not drink alcohol. They will make it worse. Everybody's body's a little bit different, but for me, alcohol is one of the worst things I could do if I have migraines. I've had migraines off and on since I was a kid. I got a smash my head a few years back and got a really bad concussion, and they kind of come back. For me, the best thing, honestly, that helps me with migraines is cannabis. So the only thing that I found that I can do and within minutes it stops is weed. So I don't know where you're at and how hard that is for you to get a hold of, or if you're even in I think you were in Texas, Noelle, is that right? You're in Texas, if I remember. I don't know what the laws are in Texas, I forget. If they're rec or medical or anything. Maybe you just gotta call the underground black market guy. If you can't do that, that's what I've found helps me with my migraines. So anyway, sorry tangent there, guys. Eric Hill, originally from Florida. Okay, I got you, buddy. Yvonne spent 5 minutes clicking around, seeing which search results person I could tolerate. Chose yours. Glad I did. Awesome. Thank you, Yvonne. I appreciate that. Savvy Sinatra. I'm at MGM International in Vegas. My name is Harry. Yeah, Harry. You the man, brother. Thank you for that. I appreciate your tip and your support. 4 subs, 1 vid. Guest complains that I didn't pour his cocktail. Wait. He complains that I didn't pour his cocktail incorrectly or incorrect portions. I'm assuming that he's complaining that you didn't pour it correctly or used incorrect portions. Asked the bartender and he said to pour another drink for the guest. Thoughts? This is why I always say there is no right and wrong in bartending. Like when people want to get into semantics about how you make a certain recipe, there is no right and wrong, because the only way that is right, like the right recipe, is the one that your customer wants. Now, if they like it a certain way, then you should make it that way. It doesn't mean that you're wrong or the recipe that you're making was wrong, or it doesn't mean that they're right or that they're wrong if they ask for it a certain way. The thing is, like with bartending, all we're trying to do is to facilitate a good time for people to have a unique experience so that they want to come back. And from the technical side of actually making the drinks, all we're trying to do is to make alcohol palatable in a way that's preferred by our customers, right? So it's just mix and matching random flavors of shit to make it taste delicious so that they want to have a cocktail or 2 or 3. And that's it. So don't get hung up on the nitpicky ratios or ingredients. You know, like when people want to drill me on, like, that's not how you make that fucking recipe. It's a ½ ounce, blah, blah. You know, it's like, come on, man, relax. All we're doing is making poisonous yeast sweat palatable. So that's why I think it's funny when people get all up in arms about serious. And that's cool. I don't want to denigrate or downgrade anybody's passion or enthusiasm for like high-end craft bartending or any of that stuff. But when you start splitting hairs and throwing people under the bus because they made something a different way and telling them that they're wrong or that they're not a good bartender because of it, all you're doing is tearing that person down, and it's not going to change anything. So give them positive feedback, let them know, hey, it's cool, this person wants it this way, so we'll make it the way your customer, the right recipe is the one that your customer wants, not what anybody else says. Okay. Eric Hill, you're in Brooklyn, New York. Yeah, buddy, you're in a hell of a market to find yourself a decent bartending job. There's literally thousands of them all around you. Shake. Glad Bartending Pro could ever help everyone. Don't forget, we're here every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, every Tuesday. Thank you all for coming out. This is officially last call. I'm going to get through these questions, and then we're going to call it a night for this week. Yvonne, Shake. You couldn't have done it without them. Last minute offer and took it, but was panicking, tried the videos, and felt great going in. I love that. I love that. I love stories like that, Yvonne, where people are just not afraid, or they are a little bit afraid and nervous, but they just grab the bull by the horns and fucking go for it anyway. Because that's when you realize that this isn't that hard. This is not that hard. This is bartending. That's the other thing when people get all up in arms about shit. Is like, dude, this is just fucking bartending. This is so easy. And you want to get mad at me. This is not complicated like financial investing or some shit. This is fucking bartending. It's so basic. So basic. Yeah, in Texas, Shake says they just got like 3 medical places, and that's the only for special cases. Yeah, Texas is pretty tight. I'm surprised they even had that, man. I figured I'd have money on them being one of the last to kind of jump in that pool of legal weed stuff. But yeah, if you're no, it's actually the one thing that helps me besides sleep. Meds just make it worse. I'm an odd duck. Yeah, everybody's body's different, 100%. Everybody's body is completely different. So that's my experience. Take it for what it's worth, girl. In that case, I wish you good luck. Do you guys have like Uber Eats or anything around you? Will they deliver booze? Or any of those delivery services, will they bring booze? I don't know. I don't know if I've ever tried that. I'm trying to have somebody deliver you something in a while. Maybe that'll help. Eric Hill, appreciate you. Keep trying to break through. Check back next time. Peace. Yeah, man. Just keep going. Keep on it. You know, they have statistics in some video somewhere, but if you drop a resume and you follow up 3 times, you will have done more than 97% of your competition. Most people, I think 60%, 60 or 70, I don't know what the numbers are. It's over 50% don't ever follow up once. Another 20% don't follow up twice. And once you follow up a 3rd time, you're in like the top 3% of people that are actually doing shit. So it's all about just going out there, pounding the pavement. Go drop resumes, knock on doors, shake hands, smile, and then follow up. And keep following up until you get a job, and it'll happen. I challenge you to try to find 30 places, drop resumes too, and try to follow up once a week or once every other week for 3 or 4 times that you can, like every week or every other week you go out, and then every other week you go out. Do that so you follow up 4 times, and I can almost guarantee you would find a job. If you go hit 30 places and follow up 4 times within a couple of months, you will find a job. And you got to be willing to start in other jobs, right? So be willing to take a position that's not just bartending. And then, because once you're in there, and then you can just move up for sure. Yvonne. Botox helps some people significantly. Yeah, that's true. With migraines. it might be a little bit more difficult to get a hold of. But anyway. All right, y'all. Thanks, y'all, for coming out tonight. We're going to call it good there. Appreciate the good questions that everybody had. This is a great session. I like these early times. I feel like everybody's a little bit more awake and a little more interactive. Not that any of you that have been on the later ones weren't, but these earlier times just seem to be a little better for everyone. So we'll see you next week, Tuesday, same place, same time, same show. I want to thank my man Shake out there in Colorado, helping moderate all these shows, helping with my social media because I have 10,500,623 things on my plate. And he really helps me do this. And 7-Eleven and Postmates might deliver. So there you go, Noel. Try 7-Eleven and Postmates. I think they deliver booze. Josh, thank you. Take it easy, y'all. And that will do it for this show. Thank you guys for coming out. Appreciate it. Yeah, I love still saying turnt snocko, even though I know that's not right. That's my favorite, turnt snocko. What up? How's the new year been treating you? It has been busy. I got a new job. I'm up in Oregon. I'm doing digital media and marketing for a cannabis company here in Oregon, and it is rad, but it is full on busy. I'm like a manager of the marketing department. So there's lots to do. But still here, still got 15 years of knowledge to share with y'all. So we'll see you next week, same time. And thank you all for coming in. And hope your new year has been good too. Turnt Snuggo. I love that. I don't know why I like that name. It's just hilarious to see that. Deja, thanks for coming in. See you guys all next week. Savvy Sinatra, who was, what'd you say, Harry? Harry, thank you, Harry, for the tip. I appreciate that. My man. And also Yvonne, thank you. Appreciate the support. All right, you guys, take it easy. Have a good week. Get out there, kick some ass. And I will see you next time. Thank you, Shake.